What's going on, guys? Welcome to my 2024 Toyota Camry. The title is correct. I did buy a brand new Camry. I usually don't buy new cars. I usually don't like to take that depreciation, but it made sense to buy a new one in this situation. I'll do another video on why I think when you're buying Toyotas, sometimes it makes sense to buy a new one over a used one, but that'll be in another video. But this is a brand new one, or it was back in March when I bought it. I've had this for quite a while, and I've driven the wheels off this. I've almost got 10,000 miles on this car. We're very close to it. I've took it on several beach trips. I've took it on a ton of golf trips that were hours away and hours back. And I've just driven the wheels off this car, and I really, really like it so far. Now, how I came up with getting this color blue, which is odd because I still have my Tundra, and I get way more compliments on this than I do my Tundra. And I think it has to do with the color. And I kind of got lucky on the color. I was looking at a used one, and again, I'll tell you why in another video. I think it makes more sense to probably buy a new one than a used one. But I was looking at a used one, and I walked over to the new lot and found this like pearl white looking one. And I was actually going to buy the pearl white one. And while I was standing there waiting on my salesman to come back to me, two other people walked up with their salesman and actually bought the pearl white one while I was standing there looking at it. And when he got back, we started talking. I told him I'd rather have Cavalry Blue. He looked online. He said, I can order it and have it here in a week. A week later, my car shows up, and I've been driving the wheels off of it ever since. Now, this is an SE, so it does have like the SE package, the sportier looking outside. My car is a little bit dirty because I have been driving it a lot apparently, but it is the SE. It is all-wheel drive. I didn't even know they made Camrys in all-wheel drive, but they do. And it is the 4-cylinder. It has a little over 200 horsepower, a little over 180 foot-pounds of torque. It's not any kind of beast on the street that you're going to win a lot of races with, but that isn't why I want it. I want it for the gas mileage. But for now, let me take you off the tripod. We'll walk around the car, we'll take a look at it, and we'll look at the inside. We'll kind of go over what some of the buttons do and stuff like that. And then we'll talk about gas mileage, because this thing is incredible. Honestly, I thought the all-wheel drive would hurt it. Get the all-wheel drive. It does not. Okay, guys, here it is. I really like the front end of these. I know the new ones are out, the hybrids are out, the 25s, all the 25s from my understanding is gonna be hybrids. I did not want a hybrid, so I'm glad I got this one. And from my understanding, all the 25s are also going to be CVT transmission. I didn't want that. I wanted the 6-speed. I believe this is a 6-speed and not an 8. I'm pretty sure it's a 6-speed. I've not even paid attention to it because I think I've only had it in like the sport paddle shifter mode once, but I'm pretty sure it's 6. But I wanted the actual gear transmission and not the CVT. Nissan's had tons of issues with their CVTs, and I just didn't want to be part of that. And I know Toyota doesn't have as much issues, but Nissan's made me a little leery of CVT transmissions. I would have liked to have the all blacked out wheels. That did not come on mine. I wish I would have got that. I'm actually showing a little bit of tire wear. Not bad. I do drive this thing in the curves a lot. 10,000 miles on the hand-cooked factory tires. Kenergy or something like that. I think this is actually a 70,000 mile tire, but as you can see right here, there's a little bit of wear on that front tire. Let's see what the back tire. I have rotated these once already. Yeah, they're looking about the same. Maybe that's just how they look stock, but I could have swore they had more tread on them when I first got it. 10,000 miles isn't a lot to put, a lot of miles on a car. I really like the body lines on this. I don't like the way the new ones are on the front. You can see here I do have the blacked out badges. That did come. There's the all-wheel drive badge. It does have like a dual exhaust, but I want to show you this. Only one of the exhaust tips are actually an exhaust tip. If you look back in there, the other one is closed off. So it's just a dual exhaust look. It's not actually a dual exhaust. Now, there's one thing I have noticed about this that's very hard to keep clean, is this right here. Dirt pours out of the doors right there on both sides. It looks worse on the left side to me, but it pours out. For some odd reason, this car is looking way darker on camera too. I don't know why that is, but it's not as dark as it looks on this camera. I did not get a sunroof. I wish, that's the only thing I wish it did have. But I wanted to stay under the $30,000 mark. I didn't want to go above $30,000 on the price tag out the door. So that kind of tells you, I think I gave like $29,100 out the door for this car. So to me, that was a pretty good deal. There's the whole car on the outside. Let me pop the hood. I'll show you the engine. All right, guys, here's a little rinky-dink 4-cylinder. Putting out a little over 200 horsepower, like I said. It's not too bad dirty. I haven't even cleaned underneath the hood yet. The actual latch or the little rod comes down from the top, because I was looking at the bottom. I've only had this open once because I get free oil changes and everything. So really and truly, I check it before I go on vacation or something like that. But on a golf trip, I don't really check it. But here it is. You got some room in the back. I mean, you do have room in here if you needed to do anything, but this is still under warranty, so I wouldn't touch it. I'd just take it back to Toyota and let them do whatever needs to be done and get it back to me. But knock on wood, through 10,000 miles, I've only had one little issue, and that was the gas gauge got stuck. And a couple of gas fill-ups later, it got unstuck somehow, and it's worked ever since. But this is gonna be what you expect in the engine of a 2024 Camry SE 4-cylinder. All right, guys, we're gonna take a look at the inside. All your buttons here are all automatic. All 4 windows are auto up, auto down. We're gonna start to blow a little hard. Let's get in the car so you can hear me a little better. Of course, you have your knob for your mirrors. Door handle is like chrome. I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. Down here, you have a cup holder that angles, so it tells you don't put anything that's like a cup in there. I don't know why you would do that. Of course, you have your buttons over here. The XSEs, the V6s, probably come with more buttons. I don't know, but this is auto headlights. Your traction control, this pops your trunk. This pops your fuel door. You have a little door right here to keep, I keep change in it. I don't know what you would keep. Of course, down here is for your hood release. We'll come back to the steering wheel. I really like this steering wheel. It's comfortable, it's big. The only thing I don't like about it is I wish it was made more like a Tundra, where this right here had a hole and these kind of forked off down this way, because I got used to my Tundra just holding it like this in the center, and I just kind of rested my arm on it. And this kind of just kind of pulls my hand down this way when I do it. That's a very minor critique, but I wish the steering wheel was made a little different. It is leather wrapped in the SEs. SE seems to be the better package to me. The LE just doesn't give you much for what little bit of money you're saving. Over here, you have your headlights and your auto. It does have auto. It does have an off for the daylight running lights as well. On this side, you have your windshield wipers. It does have the intermittent and everything. And you can see back here in the back, we do have paddle shifters, as I spoke about earlier. Up here, you have your odometer reset and your lights on how bright you want them. In the instrument panel, you can see it's just a standard analog display. Now, we'll start it here in a minute, and I'll go through some of the stuff in the screen, but it does have a huge digital display up here as well. Normal controls on your radio here. This is your infotainment system, audio, map. I don't ever use the map. This car does have Apple CarPlay, but you have to plug it in right here to your phone. I just keep my cable in here. That's the only thing I keep in this little drawer right here. You can actually put your phone on this. It's deep enough, and you can slide it back, and your phone will stay on it and not get hung up underneath it. But you have to plug that in. Of course, you have a 12 volt right there. But right here is your, let me just go ahead and start it. Now, I will say this. I don't want the car to sit here and say ding, ding, so I shut the door. Mine does have a key. So I do have a key. If you get an upper trim level, it will have a push button start. Hopefully this phone doesn't kick off whenever the system comes on. If it does, I'll turn it back on, and we'll start the video from where we left off. But let's see, it goes through all your caution stuff. All right, guys, I was afraid of that. When the car came on, it linked the phone to the radio, and it cut off the video. My truck does the same thing. So what I start to say, here's all your climate control buttons, your auto, your sync. It does have dual climate controls, your front defrost, your rear defrost, and your mirrors. Up here, this is your infotainment system like we was talking about a minute ago. You have like your Bluetooth and all that. This actually tells you your mile per gallon while you're going. I'm showing I'm getting 32. I get about 32 to 33. It's dropping as we're sitting here. I just reset it on the way over here to see what I was getting. On like a 15-minute trip from my house, I was getting, if you drive on like just normal flat roads, I was getting like 43 miles a gallon, 44. But as we sit here, it'll drop back down. But average, I get about 33 in the city on stop and go traffic, 34-ish. And on the interstate, I'll get about 38, 38 and a half. You can actually set up 4 groups of people to call, which is pretty cool, actually. Over here, like I said, you have all your instrument panel and all your instrument cluster stuff. You can see if I push over on this right here, this all controls your cluster. This will back out. This is your phone. This controls your radio volume. This is your, touch to talk. Over here, you got your stuff for cruise control. You have how close your radar will let you get to other cars. You have your lane assist, which I immediately cut off. Your mode for your radio, like AM, FM. And then you have your track. You can move tracks on that or stations with that. One thing I do want to say, I have showed you this in another video, like a quick video. This button right here, if you push it once, it turns on your cruise control, and that's the radar ready cruise control. Touch it again, it goes off. Now, if you push it in and hold it, it will go to regular cruise control, and then you can turn it on, and it will just be like normal cruise control. You don't have that where it runs up on a car and slows down because that car's slow. That's the way I prefer my cruise, and that's the way I always run it. Like I said, this button here will toggle through this. That is the mile per hour, the digital. At the bottom, it shows you, your temperature. And I've got 9,654 miles on this car. I told you it's almost 10,000. And it shows you your miles to empty. If you push over, it'll show you mile per gallon that you're getting. Push over again, it shows your distance to empty, and then back to your screen that I leave it on all the time. If we scroll down, it shows your driving support, which I have that off. Down one more time, it shows you your tire pressure, which I do like. I wish my Tundra did that. I know like 18s and up does or something like that, but mine does not. And if you scroll over, it shows your pre-collision system, and then back to your tires. Scroll down one more time. It lets you go through all this stuff right here, which I've not really went through much, and then back up to here. I like the way the vents are configured. You can see this, you do have it where you can cut your vents off on both sides. Also, here's your hazard lights. If we look down here, here is your, main console area. It does have cup holders. You have your park brake, which does come on every single time that you, put it in park. You have your hold button, which from what I read, I didn't know what this did. I read it when I come over. It's the only thing in the car I didn't know what did. You can be sitting at a red light, hit hold, and it'll basically apply the park brake while you're still in drive. Then you have all the modes that you can put on. Normally it's just in normal. You can put in eco mode, and sometimes when I'm in the mountains, I put it in sport mode, and that's probably why my tires show a little wear on the edges. Up here, we have mirrors with lights on both sides. You do have extenders for these. You do have a sunglass holder, which actually does fit a pair of sunglasses. My truck will not. You actually have a thing up here where if you have a wreck, you can call like SOS. You have your map lights on both sides. And then in here, you have your glove box along with a couple more USB ports over here. Glove box, or that's actually your console. Your glove box is over here, and it is tiny, and that's all the stuff that came with it when I bought the car. Actually, I did not put anything in there. That actually came with it. It did come with these factory catch-all floor mats front and rear. I thought that was pretty nice, and the seats are very, very comfortable. It's got a little bit of Alcantara right here, it feels like, but you can see it has good bolsters, and it's got a little bit of bolster on the sides. And I like the way this is made. It's not a cloth. It doesn't like grab your shirt or anything like that, like the LEs have like cloth in them, and I hate the way that cloth does because your shirt like gets all wrapped up in the seat and pulls and stuff. These seats are very, very comfortable. Let's go take a look at the back. All right, guys, we're in the back. You can see these seats are pretty much the same as the front ones. I believe this comes down. It has 2 cup holders in the armrest in the back. And I am I never even noticed that little holder right here. I don't know what you're gonna put in there, because as soon as you hit the gas, it'd run out. But it does have like a little holder right there for something. I've never been in the back seat really, so I never noticed that. Now I am 6'3" and I don't have just a ton of room. Actually, if I turn the camera around, I hope you can see this. My head is actually hitting the ceiling right here. So I would not be very comfortable riding in this car. But leg room, I can like move my legs to the side and I'd be all right. But this seat is all the way back. I drive with it all the way back. You got tons of room in the front, but the back, not so much. You have a little compartment right here. I've never used that. I'm afraid I don't ever use these actually, because I see these things stretched out and they don't stay to the back of the seat, and I don't want mine to do that, so I never put anything in these. And then again, you have some cup holders right here on the side of both doors, and you do have rear speakers. So let's take you back to the trunk and we'll take a look at what's in the trunk. Trunk does automatically open. You have quite a bit of room in here. It also came with the catch-all floor mat, thank goodness, because there's a bunch of dirt in here from golf shoes and golf bags and stuff like that. If y'all are wondering, I do play Mizuno irons, but I play Callaway woods. I have 3 putters back there and 1 in the bag. I've been working on my putting quite a bit, and well, I used to be a pretty decent putter, but for some odd reason it decided to elude me. So now I'm scrambling, trying to figure out how to do that again. But the trunk is big. You can fit 2 sets of golf clubs in here. I've done that. I've not tried 3 yet, but you can most definitely fit 2 along with your shoes and stuff like that. But it's a pretty spacious trunk overall. All right, guys, so there it is, my 2024 Toyota Camry. Like I said, I got this car for about $29,100 out the door. That was my stopping point. I had to argue with them a little bit, but that's what I got the car for. That was tax, tags, everything. I think it was like $2,600 or $26,000 and something, not counting tax. So I got it, like I said, like $26,100, $26,500-ish before tax. Brand new car, SE package. You've seen the interior. It was exactly what I wanted, minus the sunroof. I forget how much that package was, but I wasn't willing to go over 30 grand. That was my cutoff point. So I went up getting this for under $30,000. Now the reason this makes sense to me is because my Tundra gets like, I don't know, probably like 13 to 14 miles a gallon on the interstate and about 11 to 12 around town. This thing is getting 33 to 34 around town and like 38.5 to 39 on the interstate. I was spending like $100 to $150 a week driving as much as I do in my Tundra, and this thing I'm spending under $50 a week. I literally drove this car back from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to Tennessee, and I filled up at the Buc-ee's before you get on the Interstate 95, and it cost me, I filled up there, I reset my odometer, I drove home, and when I got home I filled up again to see what it cost me, and it was like $23 or $24 is what it cost me to drive from Myrtle Beach. Basically, I was at the interstate, so it's still maybe an hour from Myrtle Beach, but I did it at the Buc-ee's all the way back to Tennessee for like $23 or $24. That is nothing. I mean, that is nothing. So I was actually saving money by buying this versus paying for all the gas I was using in my Tundra. So the Tundra is still at the house. I think it has 63,000 miles on it. I bought this in March. I've literally put 1,000 miles on my Tundra since I bought this car. And I know that because I had my oil changed right before I bought this, and I've put 1,000 miles on it since that oil change. So I drive it. If I have 3 or 4 people going on the golf trip, I still have to take the truck so I can put all the golf equipment in the back of the truck. But and I take the garbage off with it. And other than that, unless I need to haul something from Lowe's or something, it stays parked in the driveway. And this does all the hard work now. If you have any questions, guys, leave them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Let me know what you think about the color. Everybody else seems to love this color. I love this color, and I've not regretted getting it. I know some of my friends and family was like, if you get Cavalry Blue, you might get tired of it. I love it. I've really not gotten tired of it, and it's fixing to go on another trip here in a few weeks. So I'm looking forward to that trip because it just rides so well. And you know, you take these long trips and the seat's comfortable, it makes the trip a whole lot better versus, you know, being in something that's uncomfortable and having to move around and your hips hurt. Because I have problems with my hips. I played ball a lot in my life and my hips hurt a lot when I have uncomfortable seating positions. So this does not hurt them at all. The seat is on the driver's side is electric, so you can move it to all different angles and stuff like that and get it situated exactly for what you want. And if you can't find something that's comfortable to you, I don't know what to tell you, because there's a ton of room in the front of this car. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.